On April 2, 1917, President Woodrow Wilson went before Congress to ask for a declaration of war against Germany. On April 4th, the Senate passed the bill, and on April 7th, America joined what was to be called the Great War. World War I had begun for Americans. Of course, back in the early 1900s, most soldiers were on foot, deep in trenches, or on horseback. Eventually, Europe found itself running out of horses. America came to the rescue. The U.S. offered up horses for the cause, and wild mustangs began to be enlisted. Every day and a half, 500 horses would be loaded on rail cars, shipped to the East Coast, and then put on boats to make the journey across the pond. Once there, they pulled artillery wagons and took soldiers into battle. These smaller-sized horses fit in the trenches where they would lay down, and soldiers used them as shields. The bonds made between horse and soldier were profound. The Great War couldn't have been fought or won without these horses. Many of those that gave their lives during battle came from the Sheldon Mustang lineage. Their home is on the Oregon-Nevada border, the Sheldon War Horse. Visitors can go there today and see that the area is a federally preserved wildlife sanctuary named after those beautiful wild mustangs that bravely gave their lives in the name of freedom. What visitors won't find are any wild mustangs. Although Congress created the Wild Horse and Burro Act in 1971 to protect horses just like the Sheldon Mustangs, the U.S. and Wildlife Department wasn't part of the act, and they managed the Sheldon Wildlife Preserve. It was concluded the Sheldon Mustangs should no longer roam free on the 575,000 acres they called home. The roundups began. In 2012, over 400 wild Sheldon Mustangs were captured and sold to contractors who took them directly to slaughter. After a public outcry, the government said they would use a different contractor who would make sure the horses were adopted out. The second roundup had some Mustangs adopted, but the greatest percentage were once again taken to slaughter, including pregnant mares. The final roundup was in 2014. There are no more Sheldon War horses that roam free. After valiantly serving their country, most were destroyed back on their home soil. There were a few that were adopted by owners with bigger hearts than training ability. Most found their way to auction houses. One such Sheldon Mustang is Luna. She was rescued from certain death and now resides on a farm, as free as she can be. The horses that have almost been forgotten, the Sheldon War Horses, are now no more than a page in American history.